Hey there YouTube, Tooextrememx here. I recently got a few messages, private messages on YouTube asking about a video I commented on about someone having a radiator leak or a water pump leak. The leak that this person has is similar to what a lot of people run into with this type of issue. You will get like radiator fluid leaking down from right underneath here. What it's caused by is, I'll show you. Here's your water pump cover. It will be right underneath the water pump cover, right about here. And as you see right there, there's a little hole. That little hole is just a relief hole. It's so no air pressure builds up in there and damages seals. But what the leak is from, I'll show you, I've already loosened up my impeller. What happens is when your engine starts to get warm, it builds pressure inside your coolant system, and it's got to leak from somewhere, and this is where it usually leaks from. You see this seal right here? There's actually two seals here, one on the outside and then there's one on the inside. And what I'll do now is I'll actually take this cover off and I'll show you. As you see, there is the one seal. If you flip it over, you're not really going to see the other seal because it's behind the bearing. But you can actually see it if I remove the impeller shaft. Let me do that real quick. Okay, I pulled my impeller shaft out. And let me make sure I got this on macro. Alright, here you go. Now you should be able to see in there. You should see one seal and then you'll see another seal. I should be able to see it in that picture pretty good. Now what tends to happen is this seal right here goes bad first, and it starts to leak radiator fluid in between the impeller shaft and this seal, and that hole right down here will actually drip that radiator fluid out. Now if you catch it when it starts dripping and get this seal replaced as soon as possible, you'll be fine. But if you let it go for too long, that inner seal can actually go bad. Once that inner seal goes bad, it will start leaking in on that bearing. It will ruin that bearing first, and then it can leak in to your oil, your clutch, and really damage your engine. These seals are pretty easy to replace yourself. Basically all you need to do is get a good screwdriver to yank these out. They're fairly simple to get out. Getting them back in, you want to be very careful putting them back in. What I tend to do is I get a washer just a tiny bit smaller than the size of the new seal. I oil the seal up really good, and I'll put a bolt in through the back with another washer on it, so that way the washer's pushing against this bearing, and I'll slowly tighten the bolt down until this seal gets put in there all the way. The other seal, you can do the same thing. I believe they both, the seals actually face opposite directions. As you see, this has got the indented side here. On the other side of this seal, if you flipped it over, it'd be flat. The seal towards the impeller goes in just like this. The other seal goes flat side facing up. But this is actually what is the problem whenever you see radiator fluid leaking down your casing. A few people had asked me about it. Let me get my gasket back here. A few people have asked me about it and wanted to know what causes that, how can they go about fixing them themselves. So here's just a little video to tell you how it's done. Again, if you notice fluid leaking from this little hole right here, you definitely want to get this taken care of immediately, because it can cause serious damage to your engine if both seals go. Most of the time it's only this outer seal here right behind the impeller, and the impeller is not too hard to take off. It's got its own threaded bolt on there. Uses a 12mm. You just have to tap your wrench with a hammer or something to sort of break it loose from the impeller. You don't want to take your side cover off when you do this. It's usually best to leave your side cover on. Just give it some light taps to break the impeller loose. It shouldn't take a lot, but once that's done, that will come right out. Pull your side cover off, pull your impeller out, and then again, it's just a flathead screwdriver or something to pry that seal out, pry the other seal out. New seals are going to run you probably about, I'd say up to $15. But that $15 is going to save you a couple $100 in damage to your motor. So here's the cause, here's a little fix for you. I hope this video helped the people that asked. Keep on watching my videos, subscribe, rate, comment. I'll be doing a lot more videos here soon. Weather's getting warmer, so gonna be doing some riding videos too. It's Tooextrememx, guys. Have fun riding.